Hi, I am Zishan Khan, founder of Zimension, a browser-based 3D game development platform designed to make game development super simple and accessible for everyone. Whether you're just starting out or experimenting with game design, Zimension lets you build, play, and share games with zero coding required. In this tutorial, I'm going to walk you through Zimension's awesome game editor where we're gonna make a very simple platformer game where players jumps onto the platform, avoid falling into the lake, collect some coins, stay away from enemies and spike and complete the level. This tutorial shall cover all the basics that you need to get started with your game development journey with Zimension. So let's get started. Let's go to zimension3d.com. This is the website. You can already play a lot of games which are available, and you can see you can create on any device and play on your favorite device. So let's start by logging in. I will use Google because it's pretty simple. Alright, so this is the dashboard. You can see here are some of our recently visited worlds. Then we have featured worlds and community worlds posted by different users, and we have tutorials. Now let me just create a new world. Let us name it my first game and create world. It will show you a bunch of tutorials, but for now, let's skip it. Right now you can see it's an empty world and we need to get some objects in here. So here will be the list of objects. Let's add something from our library. Let me add this tree. So we will just place it by clicking here. You can see there are different options to rotate, scale. You can enter the numbers manually. And there are a bunch of different options like sound, interaction, animation, collision. You can even change the collision method from object mode to box mode. And I will click on rotate. You can see I can rotate it in all the directions. And you can freely rotate it like this. I can even enter some values. So let me enter 0 because I want the default rotation. I can also scale the objects, but it will scale uniformly. If I want to scale it freely, I will click this button. And now, as you can see, I can scale the object in each axis. So I will make the default values as 1. I can even hide and even duplicate this item by clicking on this button. And again, I can place the duplicate tree and I can even delete it by clicking here. And yes, you can even press Shift D to duplicate the object. And you can see these objects are now here in the list. You can select the objects from this list as well. Now let's go to world settings. Here first is the environment. Environment essentially contains the lighting, the background. So here are some default backgrounds that you can select. I will select nature. And as you can see, this environment background is applied. Then we also have some of the light settings like ambient intensity, environment intensity, which tells like how the objects react to the environment background, and we have exposure. Then we also have sun as a default light. You can change the color of the light of sun and also the intensity. and the position as well. I can rotate this sun pointer and change the direction of sun. Here there are bunch of grounds that are available, and I can click on the some of the available default ground. These are PBR material with all the normal map and roughness map. We also have a material which is a nice little shader of water with reflection. We have grass, and we also have concrete and snow. I can even change the color of the ground. If I select the plain one, I can even adjust the reflectivity and roughness. You can see right now it's like a mirror finish. Now let adjust these values back, and I will keep grass as my ground. You can even add any background music in the sound setting or sound effects based on conditions. Let me adjust the environment settings back, and let us add some platforms to this world because we are making a platformer game as a sample game. Let me select this block which has a nice moist texture on it. Again, Shift D, duplicate the object, duplicate another one, and we can click on preview to directly test out how these objects react with the player. You can go check the collision and everything and press escape to go back to edit mode. Now let me add another platform. This time I will add this long one. I will adjust its position. Again, copy it and attach it like this. So now we need this platform again, but before that, let us turn off click on place setting for simplicity. This time if I duplicate this object, it will spawn next to the target object. So we want to make this platform move left and right to give player a challenge. So first let's add the landing platform. Okay, and let's apply transition to the small one. Okay, so in the item setting, first we need to create some state. Okay, so now we have two state, initial state and state 1. State 1 basically is the second position and initial state is the first position, and we can create a transition using these states. So each transition has multiple states. So here we are utilizing these two states to make this platform go left and right. So we started with initial state, then state 1, and go back to initial state. We can even change how this state or transition moves. We can change from linear to smooth. Right now this looks very fast, so let me make it 3 seconds. Okay, again the left motion again with 3 seconds, and we in play setting we will keep it on start because it's gonna play from the beginning and just loop it infinitely. So test it out, I will click on play. Play will basically give you very perfect example of how a particular your game will behave, unlike the preview option. Now you can see the platform is moving perfectly along with our collision. Now I don't need that block, so I deleted it. Let's add another platform by duplicating it. This time we will make this platform rotate. And here, as you can see, I've created another state and added a rotation of 90 degree. Again, I will create similar transition again from initial state to state 1 and back to initial state. Okay, make it a little slower. This feels right, but you know, the player should have some room to stand on the platform. So to make the platform stay on a position, we will again add another state and repeat the final state and add a value of 2 seconds so that platform stays in this horizontal position for 2 seconds. Perfect. All right, so let's preview it. I'm gonna jump to that platform. You can already see that platform rotating like that. Okay. All right. I believe player can stay well on that 2 second time. Let's add more platforms. But to keep player on the platform, we need to put something down, which is danger, So let's add a water body, like, a danger lake. To contain the water, we need some guiding walls. So under customizable item, we found these walls. I will just adjust their length. And here you can see, since it's customizable, we can actually change the color of this object along with other values. So inside I will add water, and to simulate this behavior I will simply add a box and make it appear as a nice little blue water lake. So here again it's a customizable item, so you will see all these fields. First let's scale it to the proper size before changing the color. Okay, now I can adjust the transparency, so you can see as per my values it's changing its transparency. I can even change the color, so we will make it kind of blue that suits or make it look like a water body. This looks fine to me. So now we will remove the collision because we want player to fall inside this water. And here we will select a default event when avatar will collide with this object, and we are selecting player dead. So whenever our player gets collided with this box or lake, as of now player should die. So you can see player went inside the water and it triggered the default player dead event, which made the player die. Now we will adjust the environment, place these trees next to this platforms, align it. Now we will continue adding the platform on the left hand side. So let me duplicate this platform. Alright, we want to rotate it by 90 degree, and the best way to do that is turn on snapping feature right here. This way it will move in steps of 45 degrees. Now I don't need the snapping on, so I will turn it off and then adjust this platform, duplicate again and keep it at a distance. Alright, so we want to show user that water is hazardous. Okay, so we will find a customizable board So let me just type board here, and you can see there is this board. By customizable board, I mean you can literally upload any image from your computer, and that image will be mapped on the board according to the size and all the adjustments. And all you have to do is put this board at your desired location. You don't have to create this file in any other software, just use the customizable items. This is the power of Zimension. We will adjust this board onto this walls, and you can also see this preview image. Now let us add another customizable item. This time we will add a text. Text is very useful where you want to show user a 3D text inside the world. As you can see, you can enter the value or string that you want. So let's change the color of this text. Since it's a customizable item, you can change the color and keep whatever color you like. For now, I will keep it red. Place this text near this turning so that we can instruct player that turn to your left. I will change the text to go left. Pretty simple. You can press Ctrl F to focus on the selected object at any time. Now let us create a transition for this text. So I will add another state, move it slightly on the left hand side, then create a transition. Again, same process. I will add different steps from initial state to state 1 and back to initial state. And I think the values are correct as of now. Okay, so let me add another platform. This time we will select this big one, and let me do some adjustments. Okay, so now we will add some animated objects just like these spikes, through which user needs to be very careful while playing. Now let us put it onto this huge platform. I will scale it a bit, and now you can see it, the animation is on because it found one animation. Right now there's just one animation, so yeah, it has been triggered on loop. Now I will duplicate it and put it here, and I will put another one open. So we want our player to die when he collides with these dangerous spikes. So to do that, in on collide avatar, on enter event, we will add player dead, which is again a default event, which will make player die once the avatar collides with these spikes. Okay, so let's duplicate this platform and put it right in front of it. And here we will add a moving zombie. So in the library, we have this animated zombie which comes with a default idle animation. Just adjust its position. Okay, so now this zombie contains multiple animations like attack, biting, dying, getting hit, running, screaming, and walking. So that you can trigger this different animations either on start or on a particular event. So here we want to keep zombie some sort of animation looping from the beginning, from the start. So it can be idle, it can be walking, but let's say we want to make zombie attack on a certain event. So how do we do that? We will select on event after adding another animation playback, and we can create an event. So let me name this event as zombie attack. I will add this event, and this event should come under the event list. So we will trigger this another action, which is action 2, which will play attack animation whenever this zombie attack event is triggered. And how we will trigger this event? Let me go to the on collide with section and on enter. Like when avatars enter the box of collision box of this zombie, it will trigger the same zombie attack event. And this attack event should be played once. It should not just keep attacking, right? So let's try it out. I will click on play. Okay, we'll go to the zombie. I'm already good at this game. I'll be careful with these spikes. And if I go near, it should attack me. Perfect. So now let us create a logic flow around these events. So to create a logic flow, I will click on create new. We have to select a starting event from which this logic will be triggered, and we will select a option of player dead, and we can assign some sort of delay. So let me add 0.6 second as a delay. So when this zombie attack will be triggered after 0.6 seconds, player dead event should be triggered. So this is a very simple logic flow where you are adding delay. Okay, so as you can see, after 0.6 second, when the zombie attack initiated, the player dead event was triggered. So now we want to make this zombie move along this island or block. So let me add a couple of states so that we can create a nice transition. So we will add another state and put the zombie position to this end and start creating a transition. I will keep the time as 4 seconds so that it makes sense. And we will add another state for the zombie to turn. Let me keep it to back to initial state so that I can show you what I'm talking about. So zombie will take 4 seconds to come here and 4 seconds to again go back to an initial position, and it will keep looping. And we can change the idle position to running so that zombie keeps running along with the transition to give it like an effect that it's actually running. Okay, so here there's one problem. We need to rotate the zombie and make the zombie face in the direction in which uh, it's gonna run. So again, I will add another state, and this time I will put it onto the other end. And lastly, a final state where it will turn back to its original position so that we can create a smooth looping seamless transition. So I will add these states into the steps of transition and finally add our initial state. So you can see we just have to work on the timing. So from initial state to state 1, it's fine. And for turning, I will put 0.5 second. And again, for going back, I will put 4 seconds. Again, for the final turn, I will put 0.5 seconds. And this way, as you can see, Zombie is performing a smooth, looping, seamless transition. We can even adjust the turning transition to be smooth instead of linear, so that the zombie turns smoothly and quickly as well. But we want to stop this transition once the zombie attacks. We don't want zombie to keep running whenever user collides with it. So now you can click on this avatar icon or click on the avatar itself to place it anywhere on the scene, and this will become the spawn point of your player. So I've clicked play and let's see. So now you can see the player is spawned on the exact location where I've kept the avatar dummy. Let us collide and see. Awesome. Zombie even stopped the transition when he attacked. So let's go back to edit mode and add the final block where the player or in the player will go and the game we can finish the game. So for that we can have some sort of a gate of glory. I found this gate which has some animations like door opening. I will put it in the middle. And we want something surrounding this door so that player cannot go from the sides. So let me find some walls. Okay, so these are the results that I found in the library. This cave wall looks quite good. Let me select this and arrange it on both the side of our gate. Now let us add a collision box through which we can make the player complete the game or finish the game. So here again it's a customizable block and I will adjust the transparency to 0 and collision to 0 again. And from the default event I will select game over win on avatar collide event. Now let's test it out. I will click on play, skip the zombie, make a high jump. You can see there is a button to open the door. This comes default as an interaction. Hey, the game is finished. So now let me show you how that button was popped up and how you can create your own interaction. So let me add a crate. We will make this crate in such a way that it'll keep it on the edge of the platform and make the player to push it on interaction button. So uh, you need to find the interaction option, click to enable it, and you can write any text you want that needs to be shown into the interaction button. You can trigger an event And this time I'm typing the name of the event, and if I press new, it will be automatically added to the events, and you can see this event is added into the system. So whenever user interacts, it's gonna trigger this event, and we will use this event to show a nice transition of box falling inside the river and creating a way to go near the final door. So this crate will be pushed and it will be knocked down into the river. So I will add one state. Let me go and rotate. Okay, this will be the first state. Then I will add another state which basically make it fall down. So put it down and adjust the states so that it doesn't merges with the island. Okay, so we have these three states. Now let's create a transition. Again, this will be from initial state to state 1 and the final state. We can adjust the first transition step from 1 second to 0.7 seconds and not make it loop. Just and instead of triggering from the start, we will trigger it from the event that we have created earlier. Okay, let's try it out. As you can see, a button is popped up saying press F to push, the exact text that we have added. Now we can comfortably walk over it and again open our final door. Upload your own file in Zimension like the one I have just created in Blender. Export the file in GLB format just like this. And in Zimension, click on add new item, and instead of adding from library, click on upload from device. This will open your file browser and now select the exported GLB file. Now you can see your created own file is now inside Zimension. So we'll make this coin as a collectible so that our character or our player has a motive to complete inside the game. I will adjust the size of this coin and place it on different location as the player progresses along this level. To make it collectible, we need to find this option, turn the collectible option on, and it automatically created a default variable which is count coin, and we will create another event which will be triggered when user collects a coin. So let me name this event as coins increase. Click on new to add it. And now we will simply duplicate this coin. I will place one here. And another one here. And another one here. I think I can keep one more over here and one near the zombie. And the last coin, we will keep it somewhere, in the mid-air so that whenever user makes his final jump, he will collect this coin. Let's try this. So you can see it already added a UI on the top left corner, which also shows the amount of coins or collectible the player has collected. You can see the number is keep on increasing. Let me collect all the coin. Oh, this was close. Okay, so we have added 6 coins, I think 7. Now I will show you how the variable works. Right now we already have a variable created when we make that coin as collectible. Variable holds the amount of coins that are collected by the player. So now let's use that variable to have a condition in our game where a user collects enough coins to open the door. So in this door we have some default interaction event as imported from the library, which is this open double door, and you will also see this event directly imported to the system when you import this door. So we will delete this event trigger and add our own, which will be check coins, and we will create a conditional logic flow. So again, create a logic flow, and this time we will this is where you can change a variable, but we will select check condition. And since the variable is automatically handled, we will simply you know it basically checks value of a variable. So we will select this variable called coins count and put the condition operator as greater than. If the coin value is greater than 4, then it should open the door, otherwise it should not. So let me put any random event in false, but we will show a message. So it is giving me an error because I haven't selected the start event. So start event should be check coins that we have just created. So click on add, and this condition is added, this logical condition. Okay, and even in the events we will create a event called coin message, which will show user a, a message which says, please collect more coins. So yes, now let's select this event as false event trigger and create another logic flow which will be triggered when this coin message is triggered, and it will basically show the message that I'm typing, that you need at least 5 coins to open this door. Okay, without any delays, of course. So let's try it out. Click on play. Now I will not collect any coin, maybe just one. And if I try to open the door, see, it has given me this message, you need at least 5 coins to open this door. Isn't it awesome? Now let me collect all the, at least 5 coins and see whether the door opens or not. Okay, we have enough coins. Let us try. And boom, the door opens. Our condition worked without writing a single line of code. Now let's check out some of the avatar settings. You can access them by clicking on our dummy or clicking on this icon on the top. You can see there are very different options. You can change your character. There are a couple of default characters that you can choose from that will come with as a default library, and you can add your own from Ready Player Me or generate through AI as well. So here I am adjusting the distance of the camera, the height, and even the field of view. So let me adjust this parameter, increase the field of view, and click on preview. So now you can see the field of view has been increased, the distance from camera to avatar is also increased. Let me keep a proper distance. I think 2.5 is fine. Alright. But you can still see the field of view is still there. We adjust the values back. You can also change the camera from first person to third person by pressing T on your keyboard and switch it back again. So basically you can just toggle the first person to third person by T. You can even set the camera mode, but when you set it, it won't change by pressing T button. It will be the default camera. You can even make it TPP or FPP, but when you keep any, you can toggle it. also have an option to toggle health, but right now we don't need it. We can also toggle jump. Toggle means whether you want the player to jump or not, and you can even change the height of the jump. So let's try it. Right now you can see if I jump, it will jump a bit higher. And let me show you again. See, the jump is higher from usual. I can even climb on this box. Okay, so now you can even adjust your sprint speed. So let me make it very high and let's see what chaos we bring. Okay, it's basically flying like a Superman. Okay, so click on avatar icon and we will adjust the sprint to normal. You can even toggle auto sprint if you want, and even turn off the sprint altogether if you wish. Alright, let's keep the avatar back to its initial position. And you must have seen there is spawn points in the avatar setting, and they are used for creating checkpoints. So let us create our very first checkpoint so that whenever player clears a particular level, the player will spawn from this particular block. So whenever player collide with this island, we will set the checkpoint from this island onwards. So you can see there is an add spawn point button. If I click on it, it will add this spawn point marker, and you can keep this marker anywhere you like. But how do you activate this marker? So on activate event, activate on event, let me create one event called checkpoint 1 maybe. Okay, I will click on new. This will be added as an event. Now as soon as this event is triggered, the avatar's current checkpoint will be switched to this one. So on this block, on avatar collide event, we will select that event, like checkpoint 1, the recent event that we created. So whenever the player collide with this island, it will activate that new checkpoint. So let us see this in action. Okay, let me click on play. Okay, our jump is still high, but let me die. So here it will respawn the avatar from the initial position as you see. But when I go to that particular island, oops, okay. Alright, so now since I've collided with this island, if I die, let me go into the spikes. Player is dead. See? Now, no matter where you die, the avatar gonna spawn onto this particular location, onto the new checkpoint. But what if you want to directly send the avatar or teleport the avatar directly to this checkpoint through an event? So let me create a dummy event called teleport, and we will trigger this event the moment avatar is collided with this particular block in the very beginning. So attach on enter teleport and test it out. So if I collide with this block, it will quickly send me to that. See, it just teleported me to this particular checkpoint or spawn point. I will again show you. Collide and move. The avatar respawns you. Now let's make this go left instruction appear on certain event. So here we have spawning show hide section where on appear on I will create an event called show instruction and hide instruction and assign these events on those particular events. So basically when show instruction will be triggered, it this go left text will appear and it will hide when hide instruction event is triggered, right? And we will trigger this show instruction event on collision with this platform and will create a logic flow where after 4 seconds of show interaction it will trigger hide interaction. So once the interaction is shown, it will wait for 4 seconds and it will trigger hide interaction, and based on that this go left text will be shown and will get hidden. So this way you can spawn and hide different objects in Zimension. Again, a very important part shown in games, whether you want to spawn some character, objects, door, whatever. So see, the moment we will collide with this block, yes, see, and after 4 seconds it should get disappear. Boom, awesome. So now let us adjust the level, make it you know more concise, hide the stuff that we don't want to make player see, and we don't want the player to wander around the lake, so let's confine the player inside uh, a rocky walls. I will be just copying this huge platform. Okay, let me add the steps to add it at the very end. Okay, and we will keep some trophy or something on the top so that whenever player wins the game, there is some sort of gift available for the player. Okay, let me search for trophy. Okay, I find one. So we got a nice little trophy. Let me adjust its position and scale and keep it on the stone of glory. And we'll do some more adjustment, add this wall so that player don't see the other side of the challenge. And let us add some background music. So again, we will go to the world and click on sound. Then first we have to add a sound to the world. So I have created couple of background sounds. So added this sound. Now you have to add this sound to the playback. So right now, since it's a background music, we will keep it play on start and there's just one sound, so it's gonna just play the background music. And let me add a sound to this zombie. So after clicking on zombie, click on sound setting, and again in the similar way you can upload your own sound and then add a playback for this sound. So again the zombie sound will be played. Okay, and we want to have a splashing sound of water, but this sound should come from everywhere. So instead of adding it to the water, we will be adding it inside the sound setting, but the playback will be triggered on a particular event. So I've added another sound playback. I will select an event, and that event is basically uh, maybe not here. So we will create a new event called player fall, which will be triggered once the player will be collided with the water, and we will play this water splash sound. Increase the volume and we'll click here, and instead of player dead we will remove this event and add this event called player fall and add the dead dying logic inside the logic flow, where the start event will be player dead and it will trigger a default event of player dead. Okay, without any delays. Okay, cool. So this should trigger the sound effect. Now let us add collection sound. So again, we will go to the world setting. So whenever you add a sound in world setting, that sound will not be played from the object. It will be from, just like from the ear of a player. But if you add a sound onto an object, it will be a spatial sound coming from that particular object. So similarly here, we will choose the event, start on, and select that coin increase event that we have added on collection, and select this sound. Now let's test it out. Now, okay, you can hear the background music. Background music is too loud. You can hear the coin sound. Okay, so now we will adjust the value of the sound now. Decrease the background music, then increase these sounds a little bit. And for zombie, what I have noticed, it's just playing for the first time. So first we'll make it loop, and instead of playing it from the beginning, we will trigger this sound whenever user reaches that particular island. So we already have added one event, checkpoint one. And we can also add a sound effect of splash, water splash when this box falls into the lake. So for that, we will click on sound settings and add this sound and use this existing water splash sound and add a playback which will be on event, and that event will be a new event named box fall, and this event will be triggered when this transition is finished. So you can see at the bottom we have this option to trigger an event when this transition is finished. Okay, let's try it out. Okay, you can see the splash sound is coming. Now you can see the zombie sound is also been triggered, and since it's coming from the object, this is a. Let me try one more time. Okay, I cleared this case. Now let us update some information of our world. So we can start by changing or keeping a thumbnail. So you can click on this icon and it will take the snapshot of your editor and set it as a thumbnail. Now let's edit some of the game information. I will change the name to the Jungle Hunt and write a nice description. You can also adjust couple of things like whether it's made for mobile, tags, category. Now you can also upload your own custom loading screen from this menu. I have created this screen through AI. So this will be our custom loading scene, and we can also add a custom logo of our game. I have created this nice transparent background. Okay, so now how do I share this game? So for that, you have to click this share button. Here you can just enter any email address. This sharing is basically for giving edit access or view access to your world if it's private. So for example, you can just put the email address of the user and you can just share. If you make it public, a public link of this particular world will be available. You can click on this red icon to copy it, and you can open this link. But the most important part is the publish. So to publish it, just enter the version name and click on publish button. This will make all the changes available to the users through the shared link here. So what I will do is in the new tab, I will paste this link and boom, your new world is live. You can also see there is a watermark available over there. So let's say you don't want Zimension watermark. So for that, there is a special setting. You have to go in others, and this is the option. If you uncheck this option, it will remove watermark, but it's a premium feature. So you need to have a subscription to do that. Also, you can trigger multiplayer and even disable copy of this world so that other users cannot copy your public world. Now let's save and see whether the watermark is removed or not. Okay, so as you can see, there is no watermark on the top. So alright, let's go back to the dashboard. Now you can see our newly created world over here, all the options, likes, views, and if you click on these three dots, there will be different options, and you can even share the world from here. You can delete the world, even copy the world, so it will make a duplicate copy, and you can even release it to the community. So here, once you submit the request to publish, the team will review it, and once it's published, it will be available for all users. So after a while, when my publish request got approved, you can see my world is now listing in the community section. You will also find this onto our home page of the website in the explore section. If any user comes here, he will see my world listed like this, and they can play it without logging in. This way I can create and get more engagement for my games. Okay, so now the biggest question, can you actually export the entire game? The answer is yes. If you are a premium tier subscribed user, you can export the entire game either in GLB, USDZ, EXE, or even web static file. So if I click here, you can see the file has been downloaded, and if I open it, you can see these are all the basic HTML and CSS and JavaScript files which you can host on any server on any domain, completely out of Zimension dependencies. Best part about Zimension is whatever you create works on all the smart devices. So whether it's a mobile phone, this opens in your mobile browser, you can see all the UI and buttons are adjusted as per the device. And you can also open this directly into your VR headset. So this is the clip recording of MetaQuest device where I'm opening this experience in virtual reality without making any changes at all. You can see the entire environment, our hands. We can even pick some items if we can set them. So this way you can create some beautiful games or experiences using Zimension without writing a single line of code. Whether it's a first person horror game or third person adventure game, you name it. Sky is the limit. You can even create open world games. So see you next time in the next tutorial.